Welcome back everyone to Tarantula Exotics, and today we are rehousing our Heterometrus spinifer. We're going to be doing an enclosure setup for it, so I'll walk you through that. And I'm also going to talk about some substrate that I'm starting to shy away from a lot more now. I'm not a big fan of it. I'll talk about it a little bit later on as far as why and some examples. But we'll get into that later on in the video as I'm kind of going through the rehouse and just show you the reasons why I don't like it. For the sake of time, if you don't want to go into the full video, the substrate I'm talking about is the Zoomed Reptisoil. Yes, the Zoomed Reptisoil. Not a big fan. All the ingredients in there actually seem like it would be a good substrate, but it does not retain water very well. You'll see later on in the video what I mean by that. And it also shrinks a lot. I'm going back to good old Eco Earth and some sphagnum moss. So we'll get that all together in this enclosure build, and we'll get to that right away. So let's get started. All right, so here we have, if you've watched the video, the $25 Amazon acrylic enclosure. I know they were overpriced and it's all the comments on there, I get it, but the acrylic is super clear, it's great display, and while it is out of the price point and a little bit overpriced for what it is, honestly, I'm not hating it so far. I've sealed most of these off with clear silicone, so no leaking, and that seems to be holding up pretty well. But with that in mind, let's start putting some substrate in here. I will be using Eco Earth to start, and I'll add some sphagnum moss later on, just to kind of pretty it up, as well as some hides, and make sure it's deep enough because this is a burrowing species of scorpion. So let's get some Eco Earth out. I have it off here. I'm gonna put some gloves on just so I don't get my hands dirty, but I mean, I know it's a bit of a waste and bad for the environment. I'm trying not to use gloves too much, but for the sake of this tutorial, and to protect a little bit of a incision I have, I'm gonna use gloves for this one. So I don't usually use them, but in this case I will. And the substrate's really moist, so I want to make sure I can wring it out, and that's gonna be pretty dirty otherwise if I don't use the gloves. All right, got my first handful. Just gonna put it in here, and then we'll spread it across the bottom. Make sure it's all apart and loose. And we're gonna make sure it's definitely deep enough for the scorpion to burrow. And so I'll be adding a little bit more than this, but pretty much want to fill it up to just below the air holes, I think, is a good guideline for this size of scorpion. And just pat it down, not too hard so it can't burrow, but enough where it's actually going to be compressed just a little bit. We're also going to create some starter burrows for it as well, just to kind of help it along. So first layer is done, I'm going to grab another layer, bring it out, and add it in. All right, we got the next layer. I'm gonna add this in. This should be good after this. Tear it apart. Might need to take some out. We'll see how it works, but just spread it in there and get it nice and condensed. And back on, I'm gonna take some of this out. There we go. Now spread the rest across. Break it up, pull it apart. All right, and that should be more than enough substrate for it. As you can see, it's kind of just below the air holes here, which is exactly where I wanted it. And he'll have plenty of time to grow into this enclosure as well. You'll see his size when I rehouse him, but he's pretty small, but not so small I'd be worried about him in something like this. All right, now that's all packed in. We're gonna make some starter burrows. I'm gonna put it on this side. Just gonna dig a little starter burrow here. So it's gonna be torn apart, nice and loose. You can see here, it's a pretty big hole, and he should fit in there nicely. Gonna kind of raise the sides up a little bit. And then we'll put our cork bark kind of just right over top of that. Cover it up a little bit, make them feel a little more secure. Okay, so I've got a little piece of cork bark here. I'm gonna put this in like this, hoping I can make it fit properly. And yeah, just like that. Just got a nice little entrance to the burrow right here. We're gonna put a water dish right in here. Make sure I clear off some room for that. And that will be perfect. All right, I'm gonna grab some sphagnum moss, add a little bit of sphagnum moss to this just to make, kind of add some color to it, and then we'll begin the rehouse. All right, so I've got my sphagnum moss here. Not a lot left, but enough for what we need. We won't be using too much. It's also gonna help absorb some of the moisture in this eco earth. And what I usually like to do is just sprinkle a little bit around, just kind of to add some texture to the ground. And then we'll add some kind of bigger pieces here and there as well. So I kind of want that back of the burrow to kind of have a lot of sphagnum moss there, and then just a little bit throughout the rest of it. And maybe a few more bigger pieces right here. All right, so that's gonna be it for the enclosure. I'm really happy with how that turns out. Very simple. Literally just eco earth, some sphagnum moss, and a small little piece of cork bark, and then that starter burrow in there for him as well. And of course the water dish too, and that's all you need. I mean, simple as that. That took like 5 minutes to set up, if that. And just like that, we are all ready for the rehouse. So let's get him out and let's hope this goes smoothly. All right guys, so I got him out. This is a Heterometrus spinifer. I've got a catch cup here, which we're gonna use to transfer him. And thankfully, unlike tarantulas, we don't have to worry about him climbing, so we should be okay. It should go relatively easily. But I want to show you what I mean about that soil, or that repped soil I talked about earlier, and just how bad it is. So this was actually misted less than a week ago, in fact, and yet it is bone dry in there. And the problem is that this substrate does not absorb water no matter how much you try. I'll do a quick demonstration here. Hopefully you guys can see this. But you'll see I'll put the water in, and a bit of an angle here. And you'll notice it basically, he's over in the corner there. You'll notice it just like kind of drips around. It doesn't actually absorb very well. And it's kind of disappointing because I really had high hopes for the substrate. I was kind of praising it early on. And when it's fresh, it's great. But unfortunately, this is about 6 months in since I put him in here, and it's just not working out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get him transferred. I'm gonna take his cork bark out, put it off to the side. I'll grab the water dish, take this out, that off to the side. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and coax him into this cup with a paintbrush. And I'm gonna have to get over top of him here. Don't attack the paintbrush, please. You're attacking the paintbrush. Okay, cool. I need you to get into here. Think you can do that for me? Don't attack the cup either. That's not gonna help. I need you to get this way, please. All right, let's try something else here. Okay, I'm trying to watch out for his legs, make sure they're okay. I was actually expecting this to go much easier, but he is certainly putting up quite the restraint. And I'm really hoping my camera's getting all this. There we go, right in there, right in there. Ooh, perfect. Okay, we got him in there. We'll take a look. All right, so there he is. And just really hoping my camera's actually picking this up. So Heterometrus spinifer, beautiful scorpion, still quite small, but he's growing for sure. He has molted, I believe, once since I got him. And like I said, that was about, I want to say 6-7 months ago. So not a fast growing scorpion, but I mean, he puts on size pretty well with just the one molt he's had. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this out of the way. Again, there's the old enclosure, and let's put him into his new enclosure and see how he likes it. So we'll bring that enclosure we just made out right here. And again, I'm really hoping you guys can see this. In fact, I might actually try and do it this way just to make sure you guys get a good angle. Okay, so this should work out pretty well. We're gonna let him out. And just like that, he's in. Perfect. And hopefully, again, hopefully you guys can see him. Try and focus on him a little bit. And after I said they don't climb, he is sure enough climbing. But I don't, oh, right, the air holes. He's probably, oh, okay, he's backing off a little bit. And now I'm just antagonizing him, so this was probably a bad idea. But I really want to fill up his water dish, which I should have done beforehand if I was smart. But I'm not. So, do this the hard way. Again, he's creeping up a little bit, so really try and get him down there. Okay, that'll be good. He's perfect. Okay, so we've got him rehoused. That was kind of the basic setup video, as well as just kind of my take on the Reptisoil. I don't know if anyone else used it before, or if I was the only one. If you did use it before, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on your experiences with it. If you've experienced like this kind of shrinkage, I definitely want to know, because I mean, this is probably about a third of what it was at when it was filled up. But because I didn't condense it super well, and it just doesn't hold water to kind of reabsorb itself, it just kind of happens like this. So something to know and something to keep an eye on. But otherwise, he found his little burrow, as you can see, which is awesome. And we are all set. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one.